Okay, motion with constant acceleration. This is chapter 3 of mechanics 1. Chapter 2 discuss አድርገን ነበር vectors, addition of vectors, the difference between vectors and scalars, subtraction of vectors, multiplication of vectors. እነዚህ chapter 2 ስር አይተናል። አንድ ቪዲዮ ሰርተንለታል። ለዚህ ሁለተኛ ቪዲዮ the kinematics, the subcategories of physics, that is mechanics. mechanics በሁለት ይከፈላል፣ kinematics እና dynamics ብለን እንከፍለዋለን። kinematics study about motion without its cause, whereas dynamics deals with the cause of motion, the cause of motion. እዚህ ጋር kinematics ከምን ጋር የተያያዘ ነው? ከአክሰለሬሽን the physical quantities that are important under kinematics are acceleration, velocity and displacement. እነዚህ ኳንቲቲዎች ስለ kinematics ዲስክራይብ ለማድረግ ኢምፖርታንት ተርሞች ናቸው። ይሄ ሶስተኛው ቪዲዮ ነው፣ motion with constant acceleration. So under this, the fundamental equations under kinematics which is important, the four fundamental equations which is important under kinematics at constant acceleration are አራት ኢኩዌሽኖች አሉ። fundamental equations of kinematics at constant acceleration የሚባሉት ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ እነዛን ኢኩዌሽኖች ነው ዛሬ ድራይቭ የምናደርገው። the four fundamental equations under kinematics, they are important when acceleration is constant. Mention acceleration constant ሊሆን የሚችለው acceleration is constant when velocity is changed at the same rate. ለምሳሌ velocity 2 meter per second, 4 meter per second, 6 meter per second, 8 meter per second. The value of velocity is increasing at the same rate. At this time, acceleration is constant with the same value of time. So, at constant acceleration, the four fundamental equations of kinematics are 1. Let's derive 1. Distance is symbolized by s, which is equal to average velocity times displacement, average velocity times time. For constant acceleration, or when velocity is changing at the same rate, average velocity is equals to initial velocity plus final velocity over 2. Vi is initial velocity and Vf is final velocity. Vi or V naught ማለት ይቻላል። እዚህ ጋር initial velocity plus final velocity over 2. Let's use this instead of average velocity. S is equals to V initial plus V final times time. ይሄ አንደኛው fundamental equations of kinematics የመጀመሪያው ማለት ነው። ሌላኛው two second fundamental equations, acceleration is equals to final velocity minus initial velocity over time. From this, by criss-cross multiplication, ይሄንን criss-cross multiplication ተጠቅመን ምን እናገኛለን? V final minus V initial, which is equals to acceleration times time. So V final is equals to V initial plus acceleration times time. ይሄ ሁለተኛው fundamental equation ነው። ሁለተኛው this is the first one. Final velocity is equals to initial velocity plus acceleration times time. The third basic equation or fundamental equation is S, the guy equation, S is equals to V initial plus final velocity over 2. This is over 2, sorry. This is over 2 over 2 times time. Final velocity. Here final velocity is equals to initial velocity plus 80. ይሄንን እዚህ ጋር substitute እናደርግ because final velocity is equals to this expression. So this is equal to initial velocity plus here initial velocity plus 80 over 2 times time. So this is initial velocity plus initial velocity twice of initial velocity plus acceleration times time over 2 times time. So this is equal to t times 2vi 2v initial times time over 2. 2 is for both plus t times at is square over 2. 2 is cancelled by 2 here. So s is equals to initial velocity plus initial velocity times time plus 1 over 2 at square. 1 over 2 at square. This is the third fundamental kinematics equation. This is the third one. The fourth one, the last equation, fundamental equation is the last one. S is equals to V initial plus V final over 2 times time. Now, from acceleration is equals to final velocity minus initial velocity over t. T is equals to ከዚህ ማለት ነው ከዚህ expression t is equals to final velocity minus initial velocity over a. Substitute this instead of t. S is equals to initial velocity plus final velocity over 2 times final velocity minus initial velocity over acceleration. ይሄንን እዚህ ጋር ነው substitute ያደረኩት ማለት ነው because this expression is equal to time. Therefore S is equals to እነዚህ ተርሞች አንድ ስናባዛቸው ምን ይሆናሉ? ኢኒሻል ቬሎሲቲ ስኩዌር ነው ፋይናል ቬሎሲቲ ስኩዌር ማይነስ ኢኒሻል ቬሎሲቲ ስኩዌር ኦቨር 2 ታይምስ አክሰለሬሽን ብለውን እናገኛለን። multiply these two terms. This is the fourth fundamental kinematics equation. From this expression we have final velocity square is equals to initial velocity square plus twice of acceleration times distance. This is the fourth kinematics equation at constant acceleration. የመጀመሪያው ምንድነው? S is equals to final velocity plus initial velocity over 2 times time. ይሄ የመጀመሪያው ነው። ሁለተኛው final velocity is equals to initial velocity plus acceleration times time. The third one, S is equals to V initial times time plus 1 over 2 at square. The fourth one, S is equals to V final square minus V initial square over 2 times acceleration. The four fundamental kinematics equation. Kinematics equations.